Good morning. I am Ed Stanton, U.S. Attorney for the Western District of Tennessee. To my right, let me just introduce those that are standing with me. The Special Agent in charge for our district, Amy Hess. To her right, Jeff Holt, U.S. Marshal for our district. To my left, we have Sheriff Jeff Fox with the Dyer County Sheriff's Department and Chief Hoyne with the Dyersburg Police Department. An indictment was returned by a federal grand jury last month on October the 27th, and that indictment was sealed. On yesterday, that indictment was unsealed, and the indictment charges 14 defendants and 39 counts of violating the Controlled Substances Act. This is a federal law that makes it unlawful for anyone to illegally manufacture, possess with the intent to distribute, or distribute a controlled substance. The violations charged in this indictment stem from the illegal activity of selling, manufacturing, and distributing cocaine, as well as cocaine base, also known as crack cocaine. Count one of the charges for all 14 defendants participating in the conspiracy. It's a conspiracy count. And again, each of the 14 defendants are charged with possessing with the intent to distribute and distribute more than 500 grams of cocaine and more than 28 grams of crack cocaine. This activity occurred between the time frame of November 2009, as the indictment alleges, and June of this year, 2010. Counts 2 through 12 of the indictment charges various individuals with possessing a controlled substance with the intent to distribute or manufacture. And counts 13 through 38 charges various defendants with the use of a telephone in connection with the commission of violating the Controlled Substances Act. And count 39 specifically charges defendant Tanisha Buns with making the address of 103 Crawford Avenue in Dyersburg, Tennessee, available for the purpose of unlawfully manufacturing, storing, and distributing a controlled substance, specifically cocaine and crack cocaine. 12 of the 14 defendants are residents of Dyersburg, Tennessee. And this case was investigated by the West Tennessee Violent Crime Task Force. Amy Hess will speak a little bit more about the task force. Just so you'll know, it's an FBI-sponsored task force made up of agents from the FBI, as well as local investigators from the Dyersburg Police Department and the Dyer County Sheriff's Department. Agents on yesterday from federal and local law enforcement, including the U.S. Marshal Service, arrested the following defendants: Terry Lee Adams, Tanisha Buns, Joseph Dwayne Caldwell, Cortez Dwayne Cooper, Christopher Shane Curry, Monteith Alvarez Haley, Muriel Lee, and Brandon Amir Reed, again on yesterday. They all made initial appearances in federal court on yesterday, and detention hearings are set for Monday and Tuesday of next week. Just want to be clear that this office, the U.S. Attorney's Office, the Department of Justice, along with our law enforcement partners from the state and local side, we will continue to pursue and prosecute and investigate those individuals who seek to distribute and manufacture illegal drugs in our district, including, in this case, crack cocaine as well as cocaine. We will continue to vigorously enforce the drug enforcement laws on the books, and this is to serve notice to anyone, including these 14 defendants alleged in the indictment, that this office, along with the Department of Justice, will again vigorously pursue those individuals that seek to distribute drugs in our communities. I will turn things over to Ms. Hess. We'll take a few questions after she is done.
Good morning. In January of 1992, the Safe Streets Violent Crime Initiative was introduced to allow each FBI field office to address violent street gangs and drug-related violence through the establishment of FBI-sponsored long-term proactive task forces focusing on violent gangs, crimes of violence, and the apprehension of violent fugitives. These task forces became the vehicle through which federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies joined together to address the violent crime plaguing their communities. By combining short-term, street-level enforcement activity with more sophisticated techniques, These task forces aim to root out and target the entire gang, from the street-level thugs and dealers up through the crew leaders, and ultimately, the gang's command structure. The task force concept expands cooperation and communication among federal, state, and local law enforcement, increasing productivity and avoiding duplication of investigative efforts. The FBI currently administers over 160 such task forces. I'm proud to announce today the establishment of the West Tennessee Violent Crime Task Force, which will focus on the most violent criminals, bringing to bear the combined resources of the Dyersburg Police Department, the Dyer County Sheriff's Office, and the FBI. This cooperative effort between these agencies is only possible due to the hard work of Dyersburg Police Chief Art Boyne, Dyer County Sheriff Jeff Box, former Dyer County Sheriff and current U.S. Marshal Jeff Holt, and FBI Assistant Special Agent in Charge Todd McCall. The outstanding men and women they have led and continue to lead will be part of this enhanced law enforcement strategy. The West Tennessee Violent Crime Task Force stands with the Safe Streets Task Force in Memphis and the Nashville Violent Crime Task Force to comprise the FBI's multi-jurisdictional, coordinated, and proactive effort to target, disrupt, and then dismantle criminal enterprises operating throughout Western and Middle Tennessee. Today's announcement reflects the significant commitment of the Department of Justice and the FBI, along with our local law enforcement partners, to combat violent gangs. And yesterday's arrests serve as an example of the outstanding investigative efforts and successes yet to come. I want to commend the participants of the task force and yesterday's successful outcome, successful arrests, and certainly we look forward to continued cooperation with the West Tennessee Violent Crime Task Force. Thank you.
Okay, and let me also just say, I want to say thank you to Assistant United States Attorney Joe Murphy from my office, who's done an outstanding job in taking the lead on behalf of the United States government and prosecuting these cases. We have time just for questions.
Can you tell us a bit about the, a bulk of these people were arrested just yesterday?
That's correct.
How exactly did you guys catch up with them? How did the arrest go down? Was it violent? They give up without a fight, et cetera, et cetera?
You know, they were without incident, and some were already incarcerated, and others were residences in different places throughout the community.
Was this like a street gang in the drug trafficking ring or something that we're talking about that was operating here in Dyersburg?
Well, there was certainly a conspiracy, and the indictment speaks for itself with regard to the relationship between the individuals, defendants.
Were these people operating solely in Dyersburg or Dyer County, or were their arms kind of outstretched into other areas?
There was a concentration of within Dyer County, and as mentioned, 12 of the 14 defendants actually have residences within Dyersburg, Tennessee.
But you don't think that they were necessarily working with people in other states, or?
I will tell you the investigation is ongoing.
You mentioned that some of them were arrested yesterday. What about the others that you didn't name?
I believe there are two individuals that we have not apprehended as of yet, but again, that is in the process of being done.
What can the community expect now that we have this task force?
Well, again, I think the community can expect vigorous investigations and pursuit, prosecutions of any individual throughout this district that seek to distribute, sell, manufacture illegal drugs. And as Ms. Hess mentioned, the task force is a joint collaboration effort between the Department of Justice, specifically the FBI, and local law enforcement. And this is just the beginning of what you will see with this task force.
Anytime we have these individuals in this course of business with the resources and the finances that they have and the business that they do, there are individuals who are purchasing these items, committing crimes, robberies, home invasions to acquire their resources, to acquire the narcotics that they're seeking. So by combining these efforts and getting these people out, then they're going to have to go someplace else or be out of business.